You guys absolutely love the first 3 trading methods that'll make you rich video. And now in this one, we have another 3 trading methods that will help you make a ton of coins on FIFA 22. If you guys do enjoy today's video, consider dropping a like. It helps the channel grow and it's much appreciated. And of course, if you're enjoying the daily FIFA 22 market content, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on another video from me. So guys, just like the first video, we're going to be going over 3 methods, one kind of a lower budget, one kind of a medium budget, and then another high budget one. So first off, we're going to start with our lower budget method, and that is going to be silver trading, which is really going to ramp up now with these League SBCs coming out. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, as of this video coming out, we did start getting League SBCs, and in each League SBC, there is actually a requirement for a silver player needed. So there's a player quality max silver. So you can actually do this with bronze or silver cards. It really doesn't matter. But essentially what we're going to be doing is looking for any bronze or silvers in these leagues. And of course, if you guys are watching this video, weeks after this video comes out, there'll probably be way more League SBCs you can do this with too. It'll work for everything, of course. So essentially what we're going to be doing is either sniping or mass bidding silver cards that will be reliable or needed for the, of course, SBC. So if we go here, we obviously know the French League, Ligue 1, however you say it. We obviously know that silver rares are kind of needed, and you'll see that a lot of these cards actually go for a ton. Most of these are going for 2K, it looks like, on bid. So what we can do is set our max by now and find what the exact price is. So we see that 1900, about 2K is probably what it is. Yeah, so I'd say probably like 2K is the lowest, but even then, like, these cards are all selling for 2K. So of course what you guys can do is just go and start sniping silvers at 1700 or less or something like that, depending what the price is. And just right there, you can make 600 coins profit right there. These are gonna pop up a ton. So silver trading is absolutely crazy. Now, of course, there is going to be a lot of people on these filters, so you do have to kind of be careful. I would recommend maybe doing this at night. Of course, this video is being recorded kind of early on, but you can see we've had a bunch pop up already, and these are selling for a considerable amount of profit. If we were to have won those snipes, we probably easily could have made already 2K in the matter of less than a minute. So these sniping filters are really, really good. And you can do this with really any of the SBCs. So if we go to the MLS, it'll probably be easier with kind of the lower leagues. Obviously the French League being very, very popular. But if we go and find the MLS right here, we'll go and take a look and see what those silvers are selling for, which should easily be a little bit less. So right here, we'll find that the max for the MLS silvers is actually going to be about 750 coins, maybe 800 coins. So in this case, what you can do, it looks like they sell for 800, is you can snipe any for less than like 600, and you should be able to make a good profit. Now, it doesn't have to be just silver rares. I like to do silver rares just so you can kind of budget it out, but I'm sure silver commons are a little inflated too. Now, as I said, obviously the top league cards will go for more profit and will come up on the market way more often. But with cards, from the MLS and stuff, you're more likely to win these cards in this case as well. Now, of course, if you're watching this later on, I'm sure the top 5 leagues and stuff will all have their things. Another thing you guys can do is at night, actually, is you can go and start doing mass bidding. Like I said, this works much better at night, but you guys can just throw a crazy bid on all these cards, and you'll probably win a good amount of that. It's a really simple thing to do, and even looking at the commons, which do sell for a little bit less, you guys can actually mass bid on some of these. So real quick, let's go see what the max is for some of these common silvers here. It looks like it's probably going to end up being 2K as well. Yeah, so it's 2K for both silvers, so you guys can actually just snipe just silvers in general for this league. But right there, like, you guys can do mass bidding and everything like that. Mass bidding, just sniping on these filters, and I'm sure you guys will eventually win some. As I said, if you guys do this at night, you're probably more likely to win a couple. But right there's a 1K profit. Obviously I messed it up, but right there's a 1K profit that you guys could get on a card, and these ones just pop up so often. You're bound to win some. Of course, I'm a little bit slower of a sniper, but doing this with any of the League SBC cards, you guys can make a ton of coins doing so. Now, there is another kind of trading investment method, I guess you can call it, that you guys can do, and that's during any kind of reward supply. So over the weekend, maybe at squad battle rewards or during content supply, go on the market and look for silvers. If you see some of these cards drop down a little bit, say at, content time or whatever, they drop 200-300 coins, you guys can go and pick up a bunch during like squad battle rewards and stuff like that. And then those cards will obviously rise up as more and more people complete the SBCs. But I hear a lot of people are actually really big fans of the League SBCs this year, and there's a lot of demand to complete them. So definitely keep an eye on them because they are going to be very, very profitable. All right, guys, so moving on to our second budget, and it's going to be the 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 20, 40, 60 method, whatever you guys want to call it. It works for many different little budgets. I like it more as a medium budget kind of method, but basically what it does is it allows you to kind of set filters on any cards and find cards that are below or are on bid but are below a certain price. So what you guys do is set your filter like that, and you guys can go and try and find any cards that are on bid. So Romero sells for about 20k, and we see that his bid there was 18k. So this is a card that we could potentially start trying to bid on and try and win a few K under. And that's all essentially you're doing, is looking for cards that have bids on or are below their market price due to the fact that they're in this filter. It's actually a really, really good method. It's really, really effective. So right here, Kappa, this is a good example of one too. He sells for like what, 20k probably you can get him for. If we found that one at 15, 16k, you can make a really easy profit doing that. And you guys can do this with any of the cards. It's super, super easy to do. So we have a Milinkovic Savic here who's currently sells for about 29 or about 25k, we'll say. Maybe a little bit less, a little bit more. I have no clue where that card just went. Here he is. So we know that we can add him to transfer targets and we can start trying to win him on bid. And this method does work a little bit better at night as well, because when there's less competition on the market, it does make it easier for you guys to try and win this. But what we can do is try and win him on a bid for much, much cheaper. And that's what's so good about this method, is it helps you find those cards that are just a little bit too low. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to sit here and bid on this card for 5 minutes. You guys all know how bidding wars can be. But you guys can actually do this with the 20, 40, 60 method. If you have a little bit more coins and you want to trade with some of the higher special cards too, you guys can do the same kind of thing with them. Look for cards that have bids that probably sell for a little bit more. So Rafinha sells for about 30k. We see that he's got a bid on for 25k, so we can add him to our transfer targets and then kind of try and bid or buy on him then. Kulusevski, we know he sells for about 43k. So when you do the higher cards, you do have to be aware of the tax. Memphis Depay is a good example of a card that you can add and try and win too. So essentially it's like a bidding method that you guys can do to try and win a ton of cards for a little bit cheaper, and it's easier to spot these cards out because what you're doing is finding cards that are over a certain price that have a bid that's lower than that price. So a really good method, 10, 20, 30, 20, 40, 60, they all kind of work the same. Now, our next method is going to be a high budget method, and that is icon trading during panic time. Now, you guys can icon trade at any time that you want. Obviously, it depends really on, what's happening during the day. I do have a full icon trading guide out on my channel, which I recommend you guys watch that after this if you're interested in icon trading. But today I'm going to focus specifically on content times, usually promo days like promo Fridays and such with the icons, because what happens is a trend, a very similar trend that happens every week. So every day, every Friday, every kind of big content day where we get a lot of supply. That's what you're looking for, days where we get a lot of supply. The icon market often takes a very big dip around that kind of period, 6 p.m. UK. And then usually, well, basically almost every Friday night, it ends up rising up a ton, rebounding very well. So what you guys can actually look to do is pick up icons during this panic promo. Now, for example, Monday was a great example of this. When we got the base icon SBC, there was a lot of panic on a lot of meta cards, for example. So if you guys are on my stream on Wednesday, I think it was, you guys know I traded with a Cantona. So what happened and what my thinking is during these promo panic times is, why are these cards getting panic sold? If it's a low tier icon, for example, I would probably stay away from any panic promo on those, or promo panic on those. But for example, yesterday, for example, for Friday, we get a brand new promo that comes out. and icons take a little bit of a dip. So what I'm looking for is any meta icons that kind of go down in price, and what I can do with those icons is then obviously just look to try and flip them. So if we find the icon leagues here, what I do is any meta icon that has dipped down a considerable amount, and by good icon I mean an icon that's probably like 600k or plus. This is a higher budget method. But for example, when Cantona ended up dropping, he ended up dropping to like 1.4 mil on Xbox. I picked him up around that. I think I was a 1425 actually, and I was able to sell him for 1.6 just a few hours later. So that's how crazy some of these big icons can move. And this is essentially what you're trying to do, is find icons during the panic that are meta. You know, if we get any icon packs or anything like that. So for example, the base icon pack. If we see a base icon pack coming out and you see that mid icons are getting panic sold, that it should be a complete just the alarm going in your head that pick up some mids, because you know what, these cards aren't even getting packed, they'll go up and rebound. So that's essentially what you're doing, is buying these icons in the panic. Now obviously at the time of me recording this video, there is no icon panic right now, but it's not really too hard of a method to kind of, you know, do or learn. All you guys really do is pick up icons in the panic and then look to kind of flip them. It's really as simple as that. It's super simple. Now some cards that I do like are ones with low supply, so obviously go and check supply. So for example, we obviously have a lot of like base cards now, and these ones will be leaving soon, but Cruyff has maybe a page of himself. You guys want to flip icons that usually have a bit lower a supply. So for example, Maldini, there's 6 of him on the Xbox market right now. These are cards that are going to be good to flip with, because all it takes is a couple players to buy them, rather than if you're flipping a lower tier icon that has, say, we'll go with base Lampard. Well, yeah, unfortunately he wasn't a good example, but if we go with someone like Schmeichel, he has pages, he's got a lot of cards on the market, and some of these cards do, especially those lower tier ones. So that's why I always say do the meta cards as well. But yeah guys, those are 3 trading methods that you guys can use to make a lot more coins on FIFA 22. If you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you drop a thumbs up. If we can hit like 100 likes on this video or something, I'll definitely drop another part, because you guys seem to love this series so much. Thank you guys for 6K. It's much appreciated. The channel's growing amazingly, and I appreciate all of you guys. And until tomorrow guys, peace.